Welcome to our session at ITB. I'm Hannes Hönemann, I'm Head of Communications of the BER Airport. And welcome everybody here. So what we want to do is raise a question. See it here. The question is how BER Airport supports travelers with time management at the airport. We try to answer this question via three issues. And with us, next to me, is Thomas Andersen, the COO of the BER, and we welcome online Ruth Rabbit. She is from Sunflower, we will come to this later, and Kasper Honsgaard from Copenhagen Optimization. Welcome and thank you for having us here. Okay, as I said, we have three topics on this question, and we are talking about our BER Runway. You see it behind me. We are talking about a project called Sunflower, which is very, very interesting and very important, and we are talking about our self-services at the airport, and everything in respect is how it's good for the passengers. And I welcome again Kasper Honsgaard. He is co-CEO and founder of Copenhagen Optimization. He is the strong and competent partner who helps us implementing BER Runway. So my first question is to Kasper. Kasper, when you saw this short video, how is it to see your product living on an airport?
Yeah, thanks first of all just for inviting me to participate. I think it kind of gives me a little bit of goosebumps every time I see the service being used. We really do make a difference for a lot of passengers and hence people out there. We're now live in more than 20 airports, and I have had the pleasure of trying to kind of scan people in some of the airports where we're live. I've also been to Berlin, and just kind of the joy and happiness of passengers when they use the program and then they realize it's actually also free of charge. It's quite interesting to see how happy they are. So for me, yes, it's a very rewarding experience that we can do this through a piece of software.
Okay, very good. So we know Kasper is very proud of his product, but we still don't know the product. Thomas, BER Runway, what is it and what has it to do with Copenhagen Optimization?
So for me, one of the big benefits of the product is it's non-discriminatory. It's free of charge. Everyone can use it. Doesn't matter if you have status or loyalty with any airline or if you have...
Can you start to explain it?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, okay.
I will. Meaning that it's open to everyone. All you have to do is be well prepared. We could see from the video here that the booking process as such is something which takes less than 30 seconds. So the whole idea is you get your booking, you reserve a time slot. For intra-European flights, you can book a time slot as late as 60 minutes before your flight, and for the non-Schengen flight as late as 90 minutes before the flight. That gives you a secured time spot in our security checkpoint, which means that combined with, for instance, self-service check-in, self-service backdrop, you can go from your taxi to having a cup of coffee in 10 minutes. And I think that has been the ultimate goal for us, to eliminate the stress, eliminate the uncertainty of a large proportion of our passengers, and make them enjoy the airport experience to a higher degree.
Okay, so it's about passing the security line, and we know in Germany we have a huge discussion last summer and almost every holidays on how crowded will the security line be. Kasper, is to be a waiting line for the security line, is it a German problem or do we have it on almost every airport? What's your experience?
So unfortunately, it is a global issue, and I think what is really the biggest issue as we see it is the variability in the issue, because you don't know whether you're going to wait 45 minutes this morning or they're going to wait 5 minutes. And of course, most people will plan to wait 45 minutes and then they'll be very early potentially in the airport. So I think, especially after here in kind of the rise of traffic after COVID-19, there is a lot more variability generally in the industry, and it is no secret that it is a bit hard for airports generally to get enough staff back and have enough experienced staff to really process passengers in an efficient way. So this notion about having now a guarantee for when you can go through security is one that we really get a lot of good feedback from the passengers. saying, well, this was peace of mind. Now that stress factor I normally have, you took that away from me, and that was actually a very good thing because I don't want to be stressed. So yeah, it's definitely not only Germany.
Or maybe 5 minutes are enough. And the stress factor as well is on the airport side. Thomas, maybe you can you explain what is a good point for an airport to have BER runway?
So the big benefit for us is, and I would say this, all airports struggle with something called peaks. That means a lot of passengers come to the airport in a very short time frame. That is challenging. It requires a lot of capacity and it requires a lot of staff. And I think most airports, probably globally, have seen that it's difficult to get staff back to the airports after the pandemic. The big benefit for us as an airport is we're able to know exactly when the passengers will come at the airport. We're able to offer a flat number of bookable slots throughout the day. That means we reduce the pressure on the airport in peaks. And so I think from a capacity point of view, that's the big benefit. But I see this product really as a win-win solution for everyone. It's nice for the passengers, but it's also more efficient for the airport and the operators of the security service at the airport.
When it comes to passengers, can you tell us some feedbacks from the passengers? Are really everyone happy?
Difficult to say is if everyone is happy, but I can honestly say that I have only received positive feedback about this product, and it's so nice when you meet guests, passengers, friends that they've heard about it. Most of them have tried it and they really love the product.
Yeah, which is remarkable because we learn from airports. I think one initiative to tell the airport something is a complaint and not a positive feedback. So, which is good.
Yeah.
So, Kasper, what Thomas is saying, his experience, is this the experience you get from other airports? That a time slot like BER Runway is a good thing? Are everyone happy with it? Every other airport?
Yeah, so we are doing surveys where we are asking passengers that are participating in the program what they found of the experience, and we have consistent kind of 95% plus passengers are either very satisfied or kind of okay satisfied. We have a few passengers that are, I would say, not that happy, and oftentimes the passengers are really good at explaining to us why it is, and oftentimes it has to do with the wayfinding in the airport, that they actually couldn't figure out where to go into the checkpoint. And I think in Berlin this has been solved in a very, very good way. The wayfinding in Berlin is extremely clear, and I think all passengers should be able to find it. In some other airports it's not been as easy to implement it in a very centralized location. So the couple of constructive feedback that we get is primarily what happens on the floor in the airport. Apart from that, yes, it's definitely a driver of satisfaction in the airports, which is a rare positive for most of these airports. As you say, normally you will get most of the complaints, but in this case it's actually very positive.
Yeah. Thomas, maybe you can say us some figures, what the passengers can expect in terms of capacity in Easter holidays and coming summer holidays.
So we implemented the product as a new first in Europe end of August, and as of today we're approaching 500,000, 500,000 passengers have had the opportunity to try this product. That also means we wanted to start a little bit slowly to make sure that we could control the product on the ground purely operationally, in order to make sure that passengers still get a nice experience. We've done that, and before Easter now we are scaling up the number of bookable slots every day to 6,000 every day. That represents roughly 20% of our passengers. Assuming we can still manage it on the ground operationally, we will scale up even further before the summer vacation to allow as many of our passengers to have this pleasant experience at the airport.